fiber lovers celebrating a new sweater pattern. It's called the Lindell sweater, and it released in August. It was designed by a Rochester artist who used yarn manufactured in Vermont. 7 days, Ava Solberger traveled to Junction Fiber Mill to watch sheep's wool being transformed into colorful yarns.
We are here in White River Junction at the Junction Fiber Mill. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm in yarn heaven here. And behind me is a Lindell sweater, which was designed by Ona Walton. And maybe you saw it at last year's Vermont and New York Sheep and Wool Festivals.
We've seen this sweater everywhere, and we've been wondering what it is. And all of this is done with this Junction Fiber Mill yarn.
People are excited about us bringing yarn manufacturing to White River Junction.
Some of the first yarn I bought here was from Peggy's sheep, spun here on their machines right in White River Junction. And I love that.
She came back with like beautiful knit goods, knit with our yarn, and we were just stunned. Basically, it was a match made in heaven. We were like, great, we have a local designer who likes us and likes our yarn, and we need some patterns made with our yarn because we're a new yarn company.
The New York Sheep and Wool Festival. So it's held every year in Rhinebeck, New York.
The Rhinebeck experience, the place to go to see and be seen with your knitting peeps, your fiber nerds.
So when Amanda and Peggy first approached me, they were curious if I would design a sweater for them to use as their Rhinebeck sweater. A year before we did the Torkel design, and everybody met up on the hill at Rhinebeck, and everybody wore their piece that they made. This was the first sweater I knit. I can't even tell you, countless hours. It took a year basically to design. Vermont Sheep and Wool came, a couple weeks before the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. So many of my test knitters were there and walking around wearing their sweaters.
And by the time we got to Rhinebeck, no two sweaters were alike. All different sizes, all different colors. And to get the yarn maker, the pattern designer, and then all these talented knitters together all in one place. We open up the space about once a month and do an open house where people can learn how yarn is made from sheep to skein, basically. And then we started our Millcast, which is our YouTube channel that we do every week where we talk about what we're up to in the mill in this journey of taking this raw material of the fleece. We wash it, pick it, card it, pin draft it, spin it, rinse it, hank it, and then it goes on our shelves to be sold. And then people pick it up and they continue the journey and make something with it, ideally. When we became friends, Peggy sort of got me into sheep, and I ended up getting a couple sheep from her and her husband, so my flock is sort of a little satellite flock to theirs. At the mill, we work with wool from farmers near and a little bit farther away. So we don't put farm names generally, but we do like to say where it comes from. This is a Blueface Leicester blend. It comes from New York. Romney comes from Vermont, so that's actually a very, very close one. This one we named Pink Pony Club, actually, after the Chapel Roan song. Once the whole brat summer thing happened, to make a lime green, we had our Vermont Vice. We're able to sort of crank out these like small batches of yarn, and so why not? Knitting is such a good source of connection. There is something about it that's just like tactile and nice, feeling this real wool fiber in your hands as you're working with the yarn.
This is a cowl, so this will just kind of go up and around your neck.
We're all feeling like authenticity is being lost. We're all a little more detached. COVID really hurt a lot of us. And knitting is a really, and crochet and all these sorts of fiber crafts are really a good way to sort of establish a connection with the objects in your life again.
Junction Fiber Mill has monthly tours, and you can find Ona's designs on Ravelry. And we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon. Happy New Year, everybody.